The best way to avoid delays and denials is to build your VA disability claim the right way from the very beginning. I'm going to go through today and I'm going to just walk you through how you should look at building out your VA disability claim. I'm going to start from the very beginning and I'm going to work my way all the way down to how you should do this and how you should approach every single VA disability claim that you're going to file. So stick around. Let's run into this. Okay. Number one, you need to start with a clear diagnosis. All right. You might have some symptoms that bother you. You might have some pain, in your body, things that, irritate you, frustrate you, whatever it is. You cannot just put in a symptom into your VA disability claim. I mean, you can, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to go out and I want you to go talk to a doctor. And I want you to tell the doctor what you're experiencing. Doc, I'm getting headaches. Doc, my elbow hurts. Doc, whatever. Talk to the doctor, figure out what it is that you have wrong with you. Get the doctor to tell you what you have. You might have an idea of what you have, and you can tell the doctor what you think it is, and you can tell the doctor what you think caused it and why you're having that problem. But you need to start with just a straight up diagnosis. Now you can do that from your personal doctor. If you have disability benefits already, you can go to the VA and talk to the VA doctor and get that from them. Anything doesn't matter. Me personally, I've actually used both, but I do like my own private doctor because I've seen my private doctor longer. But it's up to you. Whatever it is, that you go to, just make sure you go and you get that diagnosis. That's super important. That's pretty much one of the main criteria that the VA is going to be looking for is a current diagnosis. So you got to make sure that you go out and get that. Now, once you get that, or even while you're getting that, I want you to start thinking about how is this, symptom or whatever it is, whatever you think it is, this diagnosis, this, this disability or, whatever it is that you have, how is it connected to your military time? You can't be wishy-washy on this. You have to know what you think caused it. And if you think something in the military caused it, or while you were in the military, it started to develop, you need to be able to articulate that to yourself. You need to be able to understand what you think it is that caused it or whatever it is. And you need to be able to prove that condition was either caused by something, during your military service or while you served, or it was something that you already had, but it was aggravated by your time in the military or something that happened to you in the military. You need to know that, and you need to be able to use those service treatment records to help you get down that or figure that out. And you also, and it could also be things like, maybe something that didn't get documented at the time. Maybe it was an event or something that just happened. Like you could have been deployed, tripped over a rock, and sprained your ankle, whatever. If you have witnesses, you need to be able to talk to them and get them to document it, right? Because you whatever it is, but you got to know and you've got to be prepared to be able to articulate it and just draw upon it. Other things for those of you who are reservists. Line of duty determinations or documentation is super important because, it's a little bit harder for reservists to document some of these things, especially if they weren't like on active duty orders or they didn't get, they don't have some sort of documentation. We want that line of duty. I can talk more about that in a different video. Now, once you've figured those two things out, right, you have your diagnosis, and it's well documented that the doctor's saying X, Y, and Z, you have this condition in your head. You've established that service connection. You know what it is, and you want to start going out now and gathering that strong medical evidence or that buddy statement or whatever it is. And this is a process, right? Like you can't just today say, I have X, Y, and Z, I can connect it and just push off your claim. I mean, you can. But you may actually want to because you want to be able to show the VA how bad your condition is or what level your condition is because you want to be rated properly. And it's so much easier to get rated properly your first time around than it is to appeal or request an increase later. These are all possibilities, right? These are things that we can do. But if you can do this all right from the beginning, it'll be better for you. It'll save you a lot of frustration. It'll save you a lot of time. So now you want to go out and gather strong medical evidence, right? And you're already doing that when you get your current diagnosis from your doctor. And once in your head you understand like how this is connected, you should be able to grab the right medical evidence. But if you didn't, make sure that you do. So you want to go out, you want to grab lab results, X-rays, imaging, any progress notes that doctors put on there, like, hey, this condition's getting worse for the veteran, this condition's getting better. Although that one probably won't help you get a high increase, but you got to go by what the facts are. And as you're going to the doctor and getting your treatment, make sure you're asking the doctors to document, how it impacts you in your work and your life. I don't know how many times I've gone to the doctor where they asked me that already. How is this impacting you? How does it affect what you do daily? Those things can be important for a lot of the conditions that the VA rates you on. So, make sure that the doctor's, documenting that, and make sure that it's, your words, you're telling the doctor how it impacts you. But you want to get out there and get that medical evidence. You want to have it. I mean, I used to have like a little worksheet that I worked on, like a notebook paper, and I would write all these things down while I was preparing for a disability claim. And in fact, I put a lot of these thoughts down in a Google document, like a worksheet itself, that helps the new vets that are doing this for the first time kind of figure out what it is that they have. So if you'd like to take a peek at that, it's free. I don't charge anything for it. It's something that I put together. It's on a Google Sheets document. Just put a comment down in the comment section that you want the worksheet, and I'll give you the link to it for free. Download it, keep it. Just give me feedback. Let me know if it's good or not. I hope you think it's good, but if you want me to improve on it, let me know how I can do that, and I'll do my best. So once you have that strong medical evidence and you have the current diagnosis, and you can, you've been able to kind of establish service connection in your head, and you can, articulate this very well to somebody, I want you to, put all that stuff down. And I do want to throw out there really quick is I want you, because a lot of people hear about Nexus letters and they say, man, maybe I need a Nexus letter. I don't want, most veterans, I don't want to go out and get a Nexus letter unless, it's the only way, right? Like, because Nexus letters do cost money, unless you're going to go to your personal doctor. So if you're going to go out and get a Nexus letter for $500 to $1,000, just know that it would be very valuable for your disability claim, but you may not need it if you have a lot of service treatment records already established. Then I would not worry about a Nexus letter initially. But if you're having a hard time establishing that service connection, you're like, man, that step 2, establishing service connection, I don't have it. Then I would encourage you to consider going out and getting a Nexus letter. Number one, I would get it from your private personal doctor. Ask them, right? Like, get their professional opinion. And if they agree with you that, like, hey, this is how all these things happen, and this is how you connect it to what happened in the service, get them to do it, because they're not going to charge you anything, and it's going to look a lot better than if you go out and pay for one. But if you're stuck and you're like, I need a Nexus letter and I just can't get it from my own private doctor, there are doctors out there that will evaluate your medical records, and they will try to help you figure out a way to do it. Now, these doctors are reputable, right? Like, they're not gonna just lie for you. But they're out there, and they do charge. I mean, and they can charge anywhere from $500 and all the way up. If you're interested in the doctors that I've found that do that service, I'll leave a link below for a directory of doctors in my website, and you can click and it's not a huge list, but there are a good 10, 15 doctors on there that may be able to help you. You can grab their email or their website directly from my website, and that's a free service for you as well. But don't do that unless you absolutely need to. So the next thing is just you want your claims to be a fully developed claim. Okay, you don't want to leave the you don't want the VA to be like helping you get this thing because you just didn't have all the medical evidence. Now they will do that for you, but we're talking about building a strong VA claim from the beginning, from day one in this video. And if you have them do a lot of the work for you, it's not going to be quick. It's going to be delayed. It'll probably get denied. And that's not what we want, right? Like, we want a fully developed claim. So, that's the kind of claim that you want to submit. I never, when I do my VA disability claims, I don't ever file anything less than a fully developed claim. I won't say that I've always filed perfect claims, but I'm still in the process. And I as I've learned, I try to give them everything they need, and I feel comfortable about understanding it, and I could articulate it if I had to. And I give them all the documentation that they need so that if I was the rater, I would be able to make a good, informed decision based on the evidence that's there. My final tip is don't do this alone. Use that disability worksheet that I talked about, and if you need a link to it, just type worksheet in the bottom in the comments, and I'll send it to you. Use that to kind of like be a good brainstorm guide to get you from these steps, and then bring that to a VSO. Have a VSO help you. If your VSO is terrible, I guess that's just normal. But there are VSOs from your state, and then there's other organizations out there that will do all this for free. So you do have more than one option in many different cases. So I encourage you to do that, especially if you're just unsure. I mean, I did not have a VSO the entire time. Initially I started with one, but that person didn't work out for me. I did eventually end up working with one, but I encourage you that it won't hurt you to go to a VSO. They're absolutely free, and that worksheet that I give you for free is a good baseline so that when you go there, you're not like puzzled and they're puzzled and everybody's like, what the heck's going on? So with that being said, listen, I hope that this is going to help you build a strong VA disability claim from day one that will prevent you from having to have yours denied or delayed. That's what my goal is here, and I'm sure you have the same goal. So listen, if this video was helpful, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Like it. If you've got questions, I don't have all the answers, but I'll do my very best. And so throw questions in the comment section down below. Go out and see a VSO. Get this stuff done for you and your family.